Shall we? And of course, Rishi Sunak may have passed that threshold, all-important threshold of 100 nominations from MPs. But the only remaining contender, given that Boris Johnson has not thrown his hat into the ring, Penny Mordaunt, well, she's certainly got some catching up to do. One of those in her corner, Sir Roger Gale, joined us on the programme. Sir Roger, a very good morning to you. Let's start, shall we, if we can, with Boris Johnson not, as mentioned, throwing his hat into the ring. Was there an inevitability about that?
Good morning, Neil. Yes, I think there was. There was a harsh difference of reality between the beaches of Dominica and the atmosphere in Westminster. And I think Mr. Johnson came back, discovered that he did not have the overwhelming support of the parliamentary party, never mind people in the country, and made the right decision for himself, for his country, and of course for the Conservative Party.
Given that Penny Mordaunt has this morning been praising Boris Johnson on Twitter for doing the honourable thing, for putting country ahead of personal priorities, putting country ahead of party and stepping aside, given where she's at in terms of the numbers, is now not perhaps the point that Penny Mordaunt considers her own position?
Where she's at in terms of the numbers is not, I think, quite where, with respect, reports are saying. I saw Penny...
Oh, well, where are they then, Sir Roger? Go on, tell me.
Half an hour ago. I beg your pardon?
Go on, tell me, where are the numbers? How many has she got?
I'm not privy to that information, but I saw Penny about 20 minutes ago, and she said we're in the zone. And look, Neil, I think what is important is that we do have the choice put before members of Parliament and then before the country. I'm fairly relaxed about this.
Well, not before the country, Sir Roger, before the Conservative Party membership. The two are really different.
But before the... All right, fine, before the Conservative Party membership in the country. But we've got a team of people now, Penny Mordaunt, Jeremy Hunt as the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Ben Wallace, who is prosecuting a war in Ukraine, and Rishi Sunak, who is indubitably talented. And I think between them, in whatever order, those four people will unite our party, the country, and take us forward to where we need to be. And that is what really matters in the national interest.
So what then, in your view, would be lost by this being a Rishi Sunak coronation without the membership being given the opportunity to have their say?
I'm not a great fan of coronations. Well, not political coronations. They tend to unravel. And I think it is important that the parliamentary party has a choice and that the membership of the country, as you so rightly corrected me, has a choice. Whatever that choice is, I will, and I'm sure that the overwhelming majority of the parliamentary party and party members will rally behind whoever emerges as the leader, because that's what we've got to do. But Penny is a great team player and a great team leader, and that's really why I'm supporting her. She's got immense capacity to bring people together.
Indeed, but perhaps given the way in which the membership viewed Rishi Sunak's last attempt to become leader of the party, presumably, I'm taken from what you were saying, you don't feel that he would be capable of uniting the party?
I'd like the membership to have a straightforward choice between two people, Penny Mordaunt and Rishi Sunak. And I would hope and expect that not only I, but all the members, and I've been a member of the party since before Boris Johnson was born, actually. I would hope and expect that we will all rally behind whoever emerges as the leader, because we've got a job of work to do, and that's what matters. What matters is the people of this country, is real people's real lives, is mortgages, is interest rates, is the cost of living. Those are the things we've got to deal with.
But that has been the case since the start of the last leadership contest. I mean, I put a similar question to Grant Shapps a little earlier. I mean, what has been the point of this Conservative government for the past 3 months?
I think we've come very seriously off the rails in the last 3 months. We have to get back on track. Jeremy Hunt has made a very good start in repairing some of the damage that has been done. There's a heck of a lot more work to do, quite clearly. And we need the right team of people to do that and the right team leader to lead the team. But it can be done, and I have every confidence that it will be done.
What happened in that meeting between Penny Mordaunt and Boris Johnson? I mean, did she offer him something to get him to step aside, to give her perhaps some of his nominations?
I was not a fly on the wall in that meeting any more than you were, Niall, and I don't know. But knowing Penny, who is very straight-talking indeed, I think she will have simply said, I'm sorry, that is not a game that I am prepared to play. That negotiation was never really a starter, but as courtesy, she took the call.
Tell me then why you believe so firmly that Penny Mordaunt, who does not have an overwhelming CV in terms of her party experience in high office, why you feel that Penny Mordaunt should be the next Prime Minister?
I think that's, if I may say so, more than a little unfair. She's held 9 ministerial posts. She was Secretary of State for Overseas Development, which requires considerable degree of empathy and understanding. She was then Secretary of State for Defence, which is no mean task in itself. As the President of the Privy Council, she showed great dignity following the death of Her Majesty at the Accession Council and managed that, I think, superbly. She's handled her role as leader of the House very well indeed. She stood in for the Prime Minister on a rather sticky wicket last week and demonstrated how she is capable of managing the House, managing business and bringing people together. And I think that's the kind of people that we need at this time.
Didn't she throw Liz Truss under a bus by saying that she wasn't hiding under a desk?
No, I don't think she did at all. I know the press made a great deal of that, but she simply threw back at Stella Creasy what Stella Creasy threw at her.
And just a final thought from you, Sir Roger. Genuinely, I mean, with your experience, do you think that the Conservative Party can come back from this, given the absolute paroxysms it's been in for the past 3 months?
Yes, I do, absolutely. And I am heartily relieved, Neil, that I can now say with total confidence and honesty, I will support whoever emerges as the leader. And I couldn't have said that 24 hours ago.
Sir Roger, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks very much for joining us this morning on Breakfast.